Hello everyone and welcome to AEW Discussion. I'm your host on AEW Tuesdays, Ducky Doug, and today's episode of going to be discussing Dynamite November 8th, 2023 edition. And this was an episode of Dynamite that would feature MJF defending the world title against Daniel Garcia, Switchblade Jay White taking on Mark Briscoe, and Samoa Joe versus Keith Lee for the Ring of Honor television title. And with that, we're going to get right into the action, starting with the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match, MJF versus Daniel Garcia. And this match was a strong way to kick off the show. Not overly long, not a lot of room for anything to breathe. Instead, this was non-stop action accumulated in a finish that made sense and put the world champ over a worthy challenger. It'll be interesting to see where Garcia goes from here, because this is not the first time that he's had a prominent spot on an episode of Dynamite or had some momentum going in his favor, except the last time he ended up fighting into the background where he's been an afterthought of sorts for far too long. So maybe this is the sort of thing that launches him back into a featured role, although you'll have to see it to believe it given how last time played out. Penta El Zero Miedo versus Swerve Strickland, and the match was good and competitive, had the fans invested and ultimately put over Strickland clean. The post-match from Page, the post-match attack with Adam Page was exactly what you would want to see out of a guy who had the sanctity of his home broken by his disrespectful rival. The chair shots, the dead eye off the ramp, all reflective of a guy who is appropriately infuriated. A good match preceded by an even better angle continued the great build to this match at full gear. Ring of Honor Television Championship match, Keith Lee versus Samoa Joe. And I'll tell you what, this was, I like this kind of matchup right here, because this is a showcase, as the great Big E would put it. Big meaty men slapping meat. It was a battle of heavyweights that featured solid strikes and power moves, and was controlled mostly by Joe throughout. Now, Keith Lee did get some offense in, including a pop-up powerbomb, but Joe was never in danger of dropping his title, and he would secure the win via referee stoppage and a coquina clutch. And then afterwards, this proceeded to vacate the Ring of Honor television title and continue his pursuit of the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Interesting choice to have Joe do that, but hopefully the goal then is for Joe to be the one holding the AEW World title. Because otherwise this one doesn't really make any sense. The main event, Mark Briscoe versus Switchblade Jay White, and there was no doubt that White would win this match, if only because the entire story to this point has been focused on MJF and White to win battle for the top prize in the company. With that said, the crowd was hot for Briscoe all match long, the reaction helping to elevate the quality of what was a good match. White won without damaging his opponent's credibility and secured the title opportunity. MJF hit the ring after the match, attempted to grab the title from the grass of White. He failed, but had a few words of warning for White. From there, the event had darkened, and the video aired of unknown assailants attacking the Acclaim backstage. The double face flashed on the screen, and MJF hit the backstage arena, where he found them lying in a heap. Samoa Joe made an appearance, not to offer his condolences, but to reiterate his offer, or not condolences. He showed up not to help, but rather just to reiterate his offer to MJF that he will partner with him against the Guns at full gear. The cliffhanger at the end of the show was the latest in the mystery surrounding the devil, and just who was under the mask. One thing is for sure, Joe is going to keep hanging around until MJF gives in and accepts his offer, keeping his enemy closer in the process. So yeah, who is behind the devil mask? It's the greatest mystery in AEW, and should pay off pretty nicely when they do decide to do the reveal. If I had to take a guess, I would say Roderick Strong. Makes the most sense to me, but maybe I'm wrong, maybe not, but that's my guess, is Roderick Strong. In conclusion, this was an interesting show in that some of the segments on the show hit more than others, and pretty much everything involving MJF was great per usual, but the rest of the show, mixed bag. There wasn't enough hype for full gear to drive excitement for the show, and the latest in Page versus Strickland was among the strongest stuff on the show, but there were also a few segments that did not hit. There are ideas at play, some better than others, but there is at least a sense of urgency entering this pay-per-view that was not there in the last two. And with that, that will conclude this episode of AEW Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.